It was like 2018. Since then, I've grew my online business to over $1 million and continue to grow it year over year. You know, each each hurdle is an opportunity. You know, each day is a new seed that you can plant to grow your business. And you know, the best day to start your online business, if you haven't started it yet, it's like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, back in like 2015. 2015, online businesses were killing shit online. Today, in this new era that we're in, yeah, you could definitely still make bank. There's so many different ways. I feel like you gotta just pick one. Personally, online business game. Okay, online business is not the same as entrepreneurship. Having an online business is really part of the entrepreneurship process. That's the tool that you would use, you know, in your tool bag of being an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur in today's age, being a solopreneur, you know, kind of working with yourself, working with a team of people to achieve, you know, something results. Definitely one of the most highest paying, I feel like, jobs. Since I've been an entrepreneur, my life has changed. Look, I'm in business meeting chats. Please let me know the time and required hours. Other agents required hours. Let's give a time. We got 3 shifts. Morning, all right. Entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship. It's really a fucking journey, but it's well worth it. It pays off so much more than than a 9 to 5. Right now, business and investments, having investments. What brand is yours? What brand is your microwave? I think it's like Whirlpool. What brand is your microwave? That's weird as fuck. And so you're already thinking as an entrepreneur, like, what brand is your microwave? That's what brand you should be investing in. Those are the brands that you want to invest in for the long run. Think about that. Like, you know, the whole time, if you're investing right now in the stock market, I'm all there with you. I be investing in the same shit. Stocks, you know, stocks, crypto, Money is always moving. Money is always moving. And in entrepreneurship, you got to keep your eye on the ball, see where money's moving, take control of your own economy. Type shit. Entrepreneurship is a hell of a drug. Entrepreneurship. Once you get all the way on entrepreneurship, where you do that shit 24/7, like you don't need a job no more. Different type of beast. Because you no longer, rely on, trading your time for dollars. And that's one of the biggest things that really kind of shifted my mindset from going from like an employee to a business owner, is that trading my time for dollars. Instead of trading, you only got so many hours in the week that you could work, right? When you sell a product, you could sell more products than and stuff like that. Now let me see here. Entrepreneurship is solving problems, like solving problems. Boom. Solving problems. And that's really what the fuck I be doing. Are you related to that plane that went missing? Like, I know that there's a lot of shit going on in this world. And in entrepreneurship, like in being your own boss, like you gotta control the shit that you like take in, and the shit that the inputs and the exputs. Like I don't really like watching the news like that. I don't like really watching the news, but I did notice that there was a plane that went missing. Like in entrepreneurship, imagine you're the owner of that plane and your plane's missing. You telling me they don't have like geotags, bro? They have like Apple shits, Apple AirTags, AirPods, and all that. They can't find a plane. Ridiculous. But whole time in entrepreneurship, that's a problem you could solve, right? And so think about it. Investments, like money changes, money moves. Like people who may be interested in taking a flight, they might not want to take a flight no more because they're like, damn, planes are going missing. So you want to invest in planes, you know what I'm saying? Like, so alright, in planes and everything. Like, guys, that's part of entrepreneurship. Like, sometimes I really strongly believe, okay, and this is on everything, like, I strongly believe that, like, it's better, it's just worth it, like, relying on your own skills, your own talents, your own abilities to be able to produce, income in your life, to be able to produce an income for yourself, whether it's your abilities to create something, whether you can create, a video that sells a whole bunch of TV boxes, or whether it's, your ability, whether it's my ability to, you know, use these new advanced tools that we have, like the internet, like these messaging platforms, to simply run a business online. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, guys, it's becoming easier than ever. It's becoming easier than ever nowadays. We live in an era where entrepreneurship, having a brand, creating value for yourself, making an impact on the community is almost like, I feel like, praised upon. And it's like, when you're first getting started out and a lot of people don't see your vision, it's going to be like painful. It's going to be painful because you're going to be, moving to your own drum, and you're going to be having to, when you're following your own vision, and you're not doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. Everybody goes to work, clocks in, clocks out, lives for the weekend, this and that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that there's another way. There's another way. It's like, if you're tired of that, like, entrepreneurship is another way. And one of my biggest things on here, one of my biggest beliefs is that, regardless if you, like, it's almost a life skill that you need. It's almost a life skill that you need. It's like knowing how to cook, knowing how to wipe your own ass, knowing how to, like, do your taxes. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a life skill. Like, you need to know, like, how to be able to create value, to create, be an entrepreneur, create value for others, and to increase your own income. That's definitely a life skill that I feel like a lot of people don't really pay attention to. It's like, okay, the automated, they'll try to, okay, let me just automate my investments. Or not even that. Like, it's a life skill. Like, okay. A lot of people might not look at it like that. A lot of people, I feel like, go with the flow in life. They don't ask a lot of questions. Like, oh no, I'm just supposed to be here, or I'm just supposed to get a job. Like, that's what, normal people do. No, like, I'm on here to like, help, like, change your mind, share my views, and not change, but like, just share a different perspective. That's a different perspective out there than just, the same old bullshit you be hearing on whatever you listen to. And it's like, I know for me, I'm tired of hearing the same old shit. And it's like, right now, I feel like entrepreneurship is a skill. Being able to, create your own value, because nowadays, all these jobs out here all these jobs out here, come and go. They come and go type shit. So it's like, at least that's what I seen. You know, when I seen, you know, people get laid off, and it's like, damn, I need to go get another job. You know, that's what I've been through, you know, kind of jumping from job to job, you know, not really seeing something that I want to do in a job for money. Like, you know, nothing that really made me fulfilled, you know. So it was just simply like going to work, clocking in like a slave, and then celebrating what little hours I had left, or, you know, smoking and just forgetting, you know, forgetting about, oh, I got to go to work tomorrow, damn, or like on everything. The fear of like, oh, am I gonna have a job if I miss this day? Having to take like fake drug tests and shit like that. Come on, man. And then anytime I applied for like a job that I did want, you know, I was like, if you have like a background issue, that shit makes it even harder to get a job. That's why it's like, I wanted to start my own business. And I just knew people with their own business, when I started selling like the fire sticks back in like 2018, I started meeting some people who had their own business, and you can kind of see like, okay, it's a little different. Like, you don't just have to work a 9 to 5. You could really have your own business. And it was really a way. It was really a way for me back then to create like income to survive, you know, to pay for not only my bills, to feed myself and my family and shit like that. But it's like, dude, entrepreneurship, be some real ass shit. And entrepreneurship, I remember like the first day, the first time, I just remember quitting my job to sell products, to sell fire sticks. I remember quitting my job to sell fire sticks, and dude, as soon as I quit my job, I immediately felt like immense like joy, like, you know, going from like $500 checks, you know, $600 checks to $800 a week, in 2 days, $800 instead of the whole 7 days. Damn, that's crazy. You're able to crunch your time like that, you know, instead of, oh, I gotta put in a whole 40 hours. Nah, I gotta do the math. All right, I want to make $1,000. $1 for a shout out. Let's go. $1 for a shout out. Boom. All right, you gotta do the math. You gotta do the math. So when I first got started, bro, you gotta do the math. Like, think about it. Okay, instead of 40 hours for $600, let me work 2 days, sell some products, make $800. You know, then you can do the numbers. You know, it ain't nothing to do your numbers to make $1,000,000. You take $1,000,000, you divide it by how much your product costs, or how much profit you make off each product. So say you sell a house, boom, for 100,000, boom. You need to sell 10 houses to make $1,000,000, right? Boom, type shit. But say you sell a car for $1,000. Okay, you need to sell a few cars. How many cars? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gotta think about it. Say you sell a digital course online. You sell like something that you're knowledgeable about, something that you have a passion in, something you have an interest in. There's a couple ways to do the millionaire math. There's a couple ways to get to that $1,000,000. First, if you already have a product, you're like, okay, look, I got, this service I sell, it's $50. Okay, it's $50. So what's 1,000,000 divided by $50? That's 20,000 sales you need to come up with for you to hit $1,000,000. And now, hear me out. To also flip your way to $1,000,000. That's another strategy that I'm definitely, like, right now. My one of my biggest strategies, I'd say, is investing my way to $1,000,000. Like, I want to have $1,000,000 liquid, and that's like one of my biggest strategies. Like, $1,000,000 liquid is different than making $1,000,000. Like, you can make 1,000,000. Look, here's my Fidelity account. You got like 1,000 in there. But making 1,000,000 versus actually, keep, that's different. When I made 1,000,000, I think I didn't really keep, but like maybe 250,000, and then I ended up spending a great load for like marketing and shit like that, and that's what I'm saying. So it ain't shit to touch a bag to thumb through it, but you definitely gotta have a system in place, like a plan in place, a machine in place, and it's not done overnight. It takes not only the fucking discipline to get it done,